Drum Whiskey Room, episode 4. I am super excited today because we have one of my favorite bourbons, BOOKER'S. This is our 2018-2, the Backyard Barbecue. But before we get into this, as always, let's get a closer look at the bottle. Alright guys, get a look at that nice looking bottle. I just love BOOKER'S. Booker, if anyone doesn't know, was Jim Beam's grandson, and kind of was one of the pioneers of the small batch bourbon trend back in the day. This beauty of a bottle, this Backyard Barbecue, as I mentioned, was from 2018-2 of this year. It is 64.40% alcohol, whopping 128.8 proof, which is usually high, pretty standard for BOOKER'S. BOOKER'S normally comes out into the, or ages in the top parts of the warehouse, I should say. This one is a 6 years, 2 months, and 10 days on the top of that warehouse. So Jim Beam doesn't disclose its mash bill, which has always been pretty interesting and been pretty, cloak and dagger about it. The Oscar Getz Museum of Whiskey, though, did apparently find a copy of it, and this really hasn't been anything, I guess, confirmed, but supposedly it's in the zone. Supposedly it's around 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. So it's somewhere in that zone. But I'm really excited to try this with you guys. As you know, with every bottle of BOOKER'S, they give you a little bit of a batch story to it, which is great. So I'll read you a little bit of it. I'm excited to share the second release in the BOOKER'S Bourbon 2018 collection. It's named in tribute to my dad, Booker and his love for hosting good old-fashioned cookouts in our backyard. That man sure knew how to throw a party, complete with delicious food, lively music, and great bourbon, of course. That's written by Fred No. So, of course, there's more to the story, but you can kind of read it yourself. So kind of going to give you the batch breakdown here, which is really interesting. 4% came from the 4th floor of a 9-story warehouse. 29% came from the 5th floor. 10% came from the 7th floor. 8% came from the 5th floor. 32% came from the 6th floor. And 17% came from the 7th floor. These are all 9-story warehouses, different warehouses at the distillery. So again, it's kind of that amazing blend that BOOKER'S is known for. So, all right, let's get into it. And beautiful pop. Always on the BOOKER'S. All right, so let's pour a little dram. Always a generous pour. I gotta love it. All right, so being that this is pretty high alcohol, I'm gonna let this sit and open up for a couple minutes, and I will be right back. In the meantime, take a look at this this quick page I have in the video to look at some other great sites that I like to watch on YouTube and where the inspiration for mine. Take a look, guys. Alright guys, welcome back. This has been sitting now for about 10 to 15 minutes. It's got a beautiful color. It's got kind of this chestnut, golden maple syrup color to it. It's, BOOKER'S always just looks so amazing to me. Let's check out the nose. So for this batch, wow, that is, I kind of mentioned the color being maple, but I do get some maple syrup on the nose, vanillas. It's really almond forward. Wow. You know what this reminds me of? I don't know if any of you Italians are out there, I grew up in a very large Italian family. My grandmother used to make these cookies called amaretti, which is basically an almond cookie with either almond paste in it, almond extract, and it's totally taking me back to that. It's completely almond forward. It's like the dough that she made. That's what I smell, the dough. That's why it's like kind of taking me back in time a little bit. Very nostalgic, I know. Definitely dark fruits. There's always going to be that caramel and those barrel notes that you're always going to get on a Booker's that are great. But I think it's unique already on the nose, just based on the that almond forward note that I'm getting. All right, let's get into the taste. Woo! There's that punch, and there's the Kentucky hug, working its way down. Wow. All right, I gotta process this a little bit. So many flavors going on. You get that vanilla sweetness up front. I'm still getting that almond flavor. That's on the nose. It's awesome. It's so good. Let me try that second sip, because that first sip with Booker's, your mouth's kind of it's always intense and on fire. So let's go in for a second sip. Oh man, that is just butter, almonds, some caramel, cream. You always get that nutty flavor from Booker's. That's a shout out to Chad and Sarah. It's Bourbon night. Let's just say it's nutty. So yeah, I totally agree. It's so good. But it's really vanilla and almond forward. I could see why this would be good with really good food, even almost dessert. So good. So you really get the sweetness in the almond up front, the vanilla, a little bit of that peanut, and then as it works its way back and kind of down back here and down your chest, that's when you're getting those typical caramel and that quintessential Jim Beam flavor. It's exceptionally easy to drink given the proof. But since it is such a high proof, and like I like to do with anything over 100 proof, I just like to add a little bit of water, see how it opens it up. So I got a little bit of water here. I don't think it needs much. I'm gonna only add about just a tiny bit. And let's see how that opens up a little bit. This is so delicious already. I don't know how it could get any better, but it might, so let's check it out. Wow, so the alcohol burn is gone, and now it's just like cake. It is cake in a glass. Almondy, peanut butter-like. I mean, so good. All right, let's go in for a taste. Oh wow, so as with a good amount of Booker's, water really opens it up a good amount. This went from a good amount of alcohol burn to not too much, and now all those flavors are really punching through. I'm still getting my grandmother's amaretti cookies. I'm still getting a lot of vanilla, a lot of almond, the peanut on the end. I mean, it is just super, super delicious. Now with, I think I got almost like a creme brulee on there. Like a custard. Oh, it is so delicious, so delicious. Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough about this file. This is really good. I mean, these are some of my other favorite batches. Tommy's batch and Simple Wow from last year, which was super delicious to me. Slightly different than this, I think. I think this was more cherry forward, with this one being very almond, vanilla, almost dessert forward. It is so good. I'm loving this. If you guys get a chance, pick it up. I know it's around, I can get it for around between $65, $70. I know Booker's kind of had a price hike in the last few years, I think. But I think it's really worth it for what you're getting in the bottle. Kind of similar to an Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, you're getting a really good bottle that after you sip a little bit, I mean, you're pretty good to go. I mean, you don't need a lot of it, so I think one bottle will last you a while. So I think it's definitely a good buy. I highly recommend Booker's always to people ready to go to that next level. I'm kind of having a hard time actually myself picking between either Booker's or an Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, which I love so much. If you saw my second review, I'll post a link here. That one just tasted like Snickers bar, but this is slightly different. This is more almonds, definitely has some dark fruits to it, but I'm really getting creme brulee and some really good peanut flavor, and my grandmother's amaretti cookies kind of on the finish there. It is so good, so complex, and I highly recommend it. Alright guys, well thanks for watching another review. My next review is going to be this bottle right here, which is the Woodford Reserve Straight Malt Whiskey. So I'm curious, I've heard some good things about it. I've heard it's kind of closer to a bourbon than a malt whiskey, so kind of curious to explore this. I have not tried this yet, so interesting to open this up with you guys. Check me out on Instagram, follow me. I usually am posting a couple of photos from my up and coming reviews on Instagram. Kind of just started that too, so also if you're enjoying the channel, leave a comment, subscribe, and hope to talk to you guys. I try to respond to all the comments that come on, offer any feedback or anyone that's looking for me to review something that they're interested in. So with that, as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, but it's the people you share it with. Cheers everyone.